If you see the job posting by all those companies, the first thing that they ask is, hey, are you AI smart? Are you AI literate? Are you AI well versed? If you're not, then they're not even going to consider you. That's just the beginning of the end for people who are not going to adapt. We are going into those like sci-fi movies in coming years where they show there were two kinds of societies living, one utopian societies, and then there are rogue people who are living outside that boundary wall of utopian society who are completely disconnected.
Welcome to How I AI, the podcast featuring real people, real stories, and real AI in action. Hi, I'm Brooke Raymer, your host and guide on this journey of the real-world impact of artificial intelligence. For over 15 years, I've worked in creative marketing, events, and business strategy, wearing all the hats. I know the struggle of trying to scale and manage all things without burning out. But here's the game changer, AI. This isn't just a podcast. How I AI is a community, a space where curious minds like you come together, share ideas, and I'll also bring you exclusive discounts and insider resources because AI isn't just a trend, it's a shift. And the sooner we embrace it, the more freedom, creativity, and opportunities will unlock. Today's episode with Umer Hadeed brought me to a deeper level of understanding the mindset shift we all need to take around artificial intelligence. He shared a lot about his personal background, and he also touched on what it means to be raising families. We did some fun key takes about what we want to use AI for and what our magic wand tools would be. I think it's both enlightening and also fun and engaging. Today I have a very special guest. His name is Umer Hadeed. He's actually the co-founder of the Collective AI, which really sparked my interest into artificial intelligence, introduced me to an amazing community in this space. And beyond that, he's a serial entrepreneur. He's an innovation architect and a creative growth consultant. Umer, welcome. Thank you so much for being here today.
No, thank you, Brooke, for having me.
We are here in Bali today, and we just wrapped a AI hacker house and mastermind. But before we get all into that, I'd love for you to maybe expand a bit on your background and what it is that you do. I know you have your hand in a lot of spaces.
Yeah, so as you know, that we are running a community called the Collective.
Yes.
And it's a community of people, entrepreneurs, people who are interested in emerging technology and exponential tech, like-minded business owners. So it's a community of those people where we come together, we learn together, we find different solutions to all the challenges that the new ecosystem presents. So yeah, we're running that, and we've been running for the past 2 years now. And it has been going great. Of course, AI being at the forefront of the emerging tech. So we touch upon a lot of AI stuff. But of course, like it's going to be beyond AI. It's going to be Web3 blockchain in future. And we do too, but AI being AI, so everybody's talking about, and it's a fad, and everybody is interested in AI.
Right.
And so we're running that. And you were part of the Hacker House. So what we do is in our community, it's a paid community, and we offer different services. And I think with all the webinars and workshop that we host and online courses that we build, the greatest, I think, thing that gives me pleasure and helps me grow is the hacker houses and the mastermind that we host. So all these people who become part of community, they have a chance to be part of 4 events that take place throughout the year, which is 2 hacker houses and 2 masterminds. And we do it mostly in the US, but then we host hacker houses in different parts of the world, and we get to meet different people, we get to touch upon different people's lives. And it has been a very interesting ride so far, as we know that how AI is growing, unfolding. Every passing day there's a new update that you have no idea what it's about. So that has been great. That's what's happening right now. In the past, I'm an engineer, but I never practiced engineering.
Oh, really?
Computer engineer. Back in 2001, I got graduated. I worked with a couple of companies before I started my own thing back in 2007. Back in 2007, freelancing was on the rise in Pakistan when West realized that, hey, let's outsource this stuff. You can get the same kind of quality at pennies and dimes. Let's do that. And that was the opportunity for the East to kind of pounce on the fact that, hey, not only you'll be able to work with some people who are trying to work in the latest tech, and build some cool stuff. And also, the dollar and local rupee disparity was huge, and you put same amount of work, but you get 10x, 5x, 2x amount of monetary upside.
Right.
So got into it, built an agency, and then we exponentially grew. We put in a lot of effort. So I had a chance to work with a lot of big companies, Fortune 500, from Pepsi, Cheetos, Coke, Cisco, Huawei, and so on and so forth. Worked for some Hollywood movies. We did animations, did visual effects for a bunch of other individuals who are in Guinness Book of World Records, Bubble Legendary. So I got to work with them. So we did AR, VR back in 2012, 11.
Wow.
And then me and Jonathan started our own. We said we are done with services because for me it's something that I don't really enjoy, and it's very painstaking and and very thankless. No matter how good of a job you do, especially working with bigger clients, they never. The appreciation isn't there, the way it should
Yeah.
be. The money
Yeah.
isn't there the way it should be.
Yeah.
Because of the reason they're all minting, and then you only get the crumbs. So it was kind of becoming tiring and thankless, and we said we're going to work on our own products. So
Yeah.
we started with e-com. We started a few companies. We launched on Shopify. Initially, we were not successful, but we learned a lot, and we quickly turned it around, and then we made a huge inroad in jewelry segment, and we became 8-figure company for consecutive 3 years, and eventually we exited that company. We started a blockchain, and then from there, and we were working on different parallel projects at the same time. We did a blockchain company in 2017. Then we ventured into AI eventually, as we could see that the future is all about AI and emerging tech. So it's all going to be Web3 and AI. So we ventured into it. So here we are.
Yeah, that's my first question I love to dig into when people are explaining their background and all the facets they've worked in is, when did AI catch your attention? What year was that? And what was your first sampling of the waters of using it for your business?
AI has been there, but not the way OpenAI, when OpenAI came out and reached to the masses for consumer market. It changed the game for everyone. Nobody saw it coming. That's the reality of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at enterprise level, AI was always, it has been few decades that people have been working on AI and machine learning. And in some shape or form, you're always working. If you're developing different products, you're developing different SaaS, it has always been part of it. But yeah, the way OpenAI broke into the scene, nobody saw it coming, or maybe very few people saw it coming, and it changed the world. Of course, I was part of it. I'm not going to lie and say I knew it. No, and I still believe hardly anybody knows, what is where we're heading, what's coming up next. So it's all speculation. And now we are at a juncture where, of course, you can guesstimate because a lot is unfolded. But back in 2022, we hardly knew. And there was speculation that, hey, there's going to be AGI right away. There's going to be SI and things going to change. And there was fear factor. Being humans, we always fear things or judge things. But yeah, the important thing is that just learn what it is, what it offers.
Yep.
Take bull by the horn. Use it to whatever you're doing in your life,
Yeah.
what kind of business that you're into.
Yeah.
You running a solo company, you running a team-based company. It's a medium enterprise, it's a large enterprise. As a head, as a leader, as a CEO, as an entrepreneur, your job is to make sure that you plug AI into your company in whatever you can, whether it's real estate, it's health sector, it's services agencies, it's a restaurant business, you're a doctor, you're an engineer, you're an architect,
Yes.
you're a teacher, whatever an industry or segment or sector or vertical you're in, your job is to get into it. You dive deep into it and see how you can apply it within your industry.
Absolutely. So it seems like you had AI in the background for a while, and it really was when ChatGPT and OpenAI came out that it really shifted the industry as a whole. So here we are now, 2025, and you did some really cool demos during our mastermind recently here in Bali. But can you share the whole encompassing technology stack that you currently use for all of your businesses that you manage now?
Yeah, so it's the same tech stack like normally, which is at the forefront. Because here's the thing, the reality is I cannot say, hey, use this,
Yeah.
and this is the best shit that you're going to come across.
Right.
And the very next day, something better comes up. And the day after that, same company becomes better than the new company.
Yes.
So let me give you an example. 11 Labs has been leading in terms of like, the voice over and then the music and all of that. And then people have been using in different types of industries. And it has been leading. And all of a sudden, there was a new company, I think a week back, which got launched, and people were raving about it that, it killed 11 Labs. 11 Labs is gone because what it was offering, 11 Labs wasn't offering. So it was a notch above 11 Labs. And then day before yesterday, I think 2 days back, 11 Labs launched a new version, which is way better than that company.
Okay.
So we are living in those times. And the graph of the intelligence, I shouldn't be saying intelligence, but the graph of what it is offering in terms of how it can streamline, optimize, and help you pick up pace is on the rise, right? So it based off of intelligence, how good it is being able to perform a certain task. Initially, we saw copy wasn't great when OpenAI came out. The animation and the pictures weren't great, but slowly and gradually they are becoming better. So that's the incline curve or trajectory that we see.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to hit a plateau because it's going to be law of diminishing returns because this technology isn't inexpensive. It's very expensive.
Yes.
It doesn't come cheap. So you need a lot of power, you need a lot of energy, there's a lot of computation. And it's not easy to come up with all those GPUs that are working in the back end. You don't make them cheap. So the smarter systems that you want to build, the faster systems that you want to build, it requires bigger and better machinery behind it, right? Of course, data computation is one part of it. The other is, of course, the machine that we're using. So that's going to require a lot of money to outdo the previous
Yes.
one, outdo the previous one.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a time where the output that is required or done by those companies is not necessarily required, or the output isn't as impactful. So the money input is not gaining the output that is supposed to have. Because as humans, we are still underusing the capability of AI that is right now,
Absolutely.
that exists right now for us. It's just asking Elon Musk to cook for us. Just like that's how we're using AI right now, right? Hey, write me this email.
Yeah.
So the current AI is better than that. So
Right.
the application is not there because the ecosystem around it doesn't require it. So how far are we going to invest into this pool of intelligence? I think it's going to be model speed as compared to model intelligence. Because then you and me are going to fight about, hey, is your AI faster than mine? Is your computation time is shorter than mine? And so on and so forth. There's a lot of intricate other elements, but I'm just trying to super simplify. So it's very interesting times, but like I said, a lot of tech has been used. The time is to automate your systems. Let all the mundane, your daily tasks, which are pretty basic, give it to AI. And it's going to get it done for you better than humans because it's functioning faster. It doesn't get tired. It doesn't get slow. It doesn't sleep. It's working 24/7, and it's more accurate. And you can build all those systems now. We are at a stage where we are all automating all those processes and systems that we do on our daily basis, like posting on social media,
Yes.
sending out emails, keeping different apps and tools that we use across our companies together. Everything is automated now, and then you can do it. And the biggest thing is vibe coding is here. And I'm learning vibe coding. Of course, there's a lot of stuff which still requires a lot of coding, and there are low code and no code models, but they're not as advanced. But the vibe coding has come to the surface, and
Yes.
that's a game changer. And I was talking I think 2-3 weeks ago, I was talking to one of my colleagues and partners, Eric, and he's a beast. And he was teaching me different stuff and all the other platforms we are going through. I was like, I'm going to get back into programming as it's getting easier.
Okay. Yeah. Now you're ready to go back.
So I was of the opinion that, hey, vibe coding is there and everything is going to change. It's so easy for me. It is. Isn't.
It's still, you
You
have to have that background, that
I still
context.
need to. When I spoke with him, when he taught me stuff, I knew that it's not going to be easy. There's still a learning curve.
Yeah.
But then again, you can still do so much. So yes, let's utilize it. And
Yeah.
to answer your question, I didn't answer your question, what technology stack? Because there's so many, but it depends on what you're doing. There
Yes.
could be gazillion.
Sounds like you're non-committed, which is a good place to be if you are exploring and able to pick up learning new systems quickly. So if some model or version is better the next day, you're open to switching around.
100%. You cannot be. So the general perception is that, hey, pick any AI model and it's going to perform every task for you equally good. That's not the case. Every LLM and their models are really good at certain things and they're not really good at other things. So you got to identify which one is working for you. And this, you have spent some time with me, so you know that I give this example that just like there are 8 billion people, not every living being is your person. So we find and pick our own person we align with. Same goes for LLM, in my opinion. See your alignment with what you're trying to do, which one works better. Or you got to try it. You just cannot go by the simple somebody's else's opinion. But then again, you need to know that, hey, Claude performs deep search way better than other platforms, Gemini 2.4, and then maybe DeepSeek R1. So these are the platform if you're doing deep research. You can use OpenAI for certain tasks. If you want to work on building some imagery and videos, there are other platforms. So you got to pick and choose. You got to see, try it out yourself and see, hey, this kind of things that I want to build, and these are the platforms or LLMs or models that are functioning better for me.
I always describe it as, for the most part, everybody has an iPhone, but that's just for this example, if you were to put everybody's iPhone on a table during dinner and look at all the apps that they probably all have completely different ones. There might be some key identifying ones that everybody uses, but we're also different on how we approach life, personally, professionally. So I like that notion of just staying open and seeing what works for you because it's uniquely individualized. So do you estimate how much you're spending monthly on tech? Because that sounds like an expensive approach.
The thing is, it's not expensive. If it is helping me build what I'm trying to build faster and better, then it's definitely not expensive. We spend ridiculous amount of money on certain things that we do not need.
Yeah.
And to answer your question, I have no answer to that because every day there's a new thing and we are subscribing to it.
Yeah.
There's always an increment into how much you're investing into technology. And being an entrepreneur, I think your job right now is invest into. Whether it's your time, your energy, or money. The ROI is absolutely mind-boggling. Yes, you got to learn, you got to invest, you got to optimize it. But by the end of the day, the output is beyond at least my understanding, my expectation. I wasn't expecting those kind of ROIs. Teams are getting smaller. Jobs are individual jobs, roles are changing. Yes, a lot of people are losing their jobs, but at the same time, it's not losing, it's displacement. I was never of the opinion that we're going to lose jobs. If we go back 2-3 years ago, I always knew that's going to be displacement. This is displacement that happens. So you got to find hey, I'm in danger. My job is in danger because AI is exponentially growing and getting better at what I do. So how am I supposed to look at it? Where is the angle where the AI is not performing at its best within my domain? For example, people say computer engineers going to be unnecessary in future for the companies, not for every company, but most of the companies. And I believe that's not the case. Yes, certain type of computer engineers, because there are levels to it. There are entry level, there are medium level, and there are high level. So if you are at top of the pyramid, you're always needed. You're not going anywhere. So just like in business, the pyramid top side, you're always needed. You're not going anywhere. So the longevity is there. The lower level, they always exist because they're always needed because of the price war. It's always who's the cheapest and hey, can you perform the bare minimum? Can you give the functional output that is needed regardless of the price? Because if you're cheap and you're functional, people are going to hire you and you're going to be needed to do the basics or operate all those AIs and keep them streamlined or something. But the mid-tier, just like in business, the middle part of the burger, that's the worst part. People from the top handling and building the latest and the best shit. Lower entry level, super cheap because the rest of the stuff is taken care of by the AI, the middle part. So you're not going to be needed. So the choice is yours, what you're going to do, how you're going to position yourself now. And I think if you are that person, I think the biggest thing that I have seen is you learn AI, you adopt AI, and then you teach other people. That's the easiest way. You
Yeah.
become AI integrator. You become AI enhancer. You go in there and plug AI. Ironic though, because you are plugging in your replacement.
Yes, I plug AI everywhere I go.
Yeah. So it's just interesting how we used to see things and how we see the world now. It's absolutely different. It's
Yeah.
absolutely different.
Yeah, think you bring up some key points and really getting into the entrepreneurial mindset of thinking of the long term on how much more you're going to be able to generate revenue wise and how much time you're going to save. Because a lot of people are approaching this of just the expenses. And there's some hesitance to just take that time to upskill and take that time out of their work week and make any sacrifices, whether that be financial or energy, right? But getting in that entrepreneurial mindset of how much this is going to compound your efforts and not feeling like you need to be convinced in any way because a lot of people have already done amazing things and the opportunity lies there. Absolutely. And you spoke a little bit about just the restructuring of organizations and workflows and the impact that's going to be on the industry and how you're seeing it play out in real time. I also have been seeing those middle level managers are now agent bosses. They're now looking over these AIs and being the manager of AIs in that middle round space. I'm curious to hear more about just the restructuring of your business and your life. How did AI flip the script for you? Because a lot of people are in that space for the first time where they're like, oh no, what do I do? Am I laying off my staff or do I just train them all now? Or people are wanting to know, what does the workforce look like in a year? And you kind of had a head start. So could you maybe speak on that retrospectively?
Yeah, to your question, like, hey, how do we plug it in and did it switch the script on us? Yes, it did.
Yeah.
And in many cases, yes, and in other cases, no. Because sometimes we overestimate stuff, sometimes we underestimate stuff, and that's the reality of it. But the important thing is, so this has been part of the ecosystem always. When Industrial Revolution came, people thought, rather even if we go back, when printing presses came about and Ottoman Empire was ruling the world and all the technology hub and the scientific work was getting done by under Ottoman Empire's times and West was sleeping and they came up with printing press. One of the biggest thing was the downfall of them was they didn't adapt the printing press. So West took over. They said, let's start printing books. And the other dudes were stuck in the old archaic system of writing books. So the information and the knowledge spread really fast.
Yes.
So the time lapse is like huge over there. It's 100, 150 years for them to fall completely. But thing is, back then it wasn't huge enough. For now, it's big time. But then again, that was the reason why it happened. And adopting that kind of technology back then snowballed into what happened in early 20th century to Ottoman Empire, World War I and stuff. So that's just an example. Then again, by the end of 19th century, Industrial Revolution happened in America and things were changing. There was a lot of human resource required. Labor work was used to do all of that. And then as the mechanics of the industry changed and then we came about different robots, mechanical robots or mechanical systems, which helped automate humans to perform bigger and better tasks, less humans were required.
Yeah.
And then we went into corporation when that happened after Industrial Revolution, when corporations emerged and we went from analog to digital. Things changed and computer came into existence. So how we used to perform official tasks through paperwork, it went away. Everything started becoming digitalized or most of the stuff started to become digitalized. How we used to communicate changed. How we used to connect changed. So coming to current times, same applies. It's not something new.
Yeah.
It has been happening, so you got to realize it. And for me, the only difference this time around is the time that is needed right now to change the window is so short that if you if you're overthinking, if you are procrastinating, you're not taking action, you won't have time to catch up. That's the only difference that I see.
Yeah.
It's existential crisis for you, for your business. If you don't adapt this change, people won't be able to relate. Big companies are already looking for all those companies. Even medium enterprises are looking for all those people who know AI. And if you see the job posting by all those companies, the first thing that they ask is, hey, are you AI smart? Are you AI literate? Are you AI well versed? If you're not, then they're not even going to consider you. That's just the beginning of the end for people who are not going to adapt. For me, we are going into those like sci-fi movies in coming years where they show there were two kinds of societies living. One utopian societies where flying cars and those skyscrapers and everything high tech, robots and then there are rogue people who are living outside that boundary wall of utopian society who are completely disconnected. Who call them either rogue or rebels or like, oh, we still doing the things that like we used to. So we are heading into those times, in my opinion. Next 5-6 years is going to be very evidential in terms of, hey, it's the line has been drawn and and the void's going to get bigger and bigger. So for me, it's imperative. It's imperative for your existence, for your company's existence, that you have to cut the emotional part and be more analytical and be more pragmatic, prudent with every step that you take for your future and for your company's future and for your family's future, that which part you're going to be on. So it's very clear, like I said, this utopian or the other society. So if you want to stay here and you want to serve them, that's absolutely fine by me. I have no qualms. But if you want to be here and then you want to take advantage of this and then you want to live here, you got to cut the sentimental and emotional part. Like, hey, I'm cutting my people, right?
Yeah.
That's this. I know it's sad, but that's just how it is. If they were into this game, they would evolve themselves. They would adapt AI and help you build your system and with your businesses or your things, and then they're going to become indispensable. And you won't need to fire them, or you won't need to get rid of them. Yeah, so that's what I believe. This is just part of the game, and it has been happening for the past centuries now. And it's interesting that we are part of it.
Yes.
We are witnessing it firsthand.
I remember even early on in my career, even when I learned computers, it was like floppy disks and green screens. And I saw the progression entering corporate, and I used to fax things in the beginning. And then it was, you could use the printer to scan things. And yes, to see the progression of technology. And to your point, really showing initiative to learn these new tools and skills and trades and adding value if you're working for someone else. Or I think it's never been a more empowering place to get in the driver's seat and start building your own things. Like what it is that you want to create for yourself.
100%. Think you have everything available. It's at your disposal. If you want to become a personal brand, if you want to launch it, if you do something and offer something unique, you don't need a team anymore. Yeah, you may, but not as huge as it was required a few years back. And right now, so the progression was, like we discussed, industrial, corporation. During Industrial Revolution, the wealth was created. Then during corporation level, corporates created the wealth. And 2010s onward, it has been your personal brand, which has been creating wealth. And as we are going deeper into the current technology, it is becoming more and more viable. That soon we're going to see, it's just a speculation. It's not something out of thin air. The signs are there that soon we're going to see a company run by a person and it's going to be $1 billion company. So we are living in those times where you don't have any excuse. The only excuse is yourself. If you're not able to achieve anything that you think that's your calling, that's your purpose, things that you're passionate about, if you're not able to do it, it's only because of you and nobody else. It's not the money anymore. It's not the people around you. It's not the access of resources that you require. Nothing of that. So it is you, it is me, and I tell this to myself every day that I couldn't do certain tasks. It has nothing to do with how busy I was. The upside is huge.
Have you just started exploring AI and feel a bit overwhelmed? Don't worry, I've got you. Jump on a quick start audit call with me so you can walk away with a clear and personalized plan to move forward with more confidence and ease. Join my community of AI adopters like yourself. Plus, grab my free resources, including the AI Get Started Guide, or try my How I AI companion GPT. It pulls insights from my guest interviews along with global reports so you can stay ahead of the curve. Follow the link in the description below to get started. One thing I want to touch on, because I love interviewing parents when it comes to this time of AI impact and education. During our masterminds, you've done such a great job at demoing automation tools. I've seen you do Make.com, NAN, Zapier. And most recently, you did such a cool presentation where you connected with your son and he did a live stream and he talked about how he's creating faceless accounts on YouTube. There's a couple things I want to touch on when it comes to AI and children. One is how you're approaching their education now that this is on the rise and what you find value in teaching them. And two is, why do you think children have such an easier transition to adapting AI? And there seems to be less resistance there compared to adults.
Yeah, it's simple. It has always been like that. So we were really good with computers as compared to our parents because we
Right.
opened eyes in times where computer already existed. So we saw those things growing up. We started playing with computers, with mouse and keyboards, video games. So our environment had those gadgets. And if you compare it with our parents and generation before us, it was all alien to them, right? And then the beautiful thing is we sometimes believe that, hey, this has a lot to do with the parenting stuff, parenting methods and techniques and all of that. Yes, to a certain degree. Of course, a kid who is not aware of what technologies exist and hasn't experienced it firsthand would never understand what it is and is going to be way behind as compared to the kids like who grow up and see all those things and and has been playing within those things. Yes, but at the same time, I think currently the generation which is growing up in this ecosystem, there's going to be far more, I must say, I don't want to say intelligent. They're not going to be intelligent. I think human intelligence is going to go down, but they are far more smarter in terms of getting their goals as compared to us. And the main reason is that they know how to use certain tools to get certain things. As humans grow up, they develop ego, they develop certain habits, and those habits, they're stuck to you, and it's so difficult to change as you grow older. So you try and avoid, adapt new things. That's nothing but human nature. I think so. The next generation is always going to find a shortcut because that's what they have already tasted.
Okay.
But of course, like I said, it has got an upside and it has got a downside. And as we see it right now, everyone is looking for shortcuts. They're going to earn success pretty easily and they're going to lose it pretty easily, super fast. So it's going to be going up super fast. And if you're not putting in the work and if you're not used to it, it's going down super fast too. Or somebody else is going way faster, way higher than you are. So that's the race that I see. But the important thing is for me as a parent, and then you touched upon kids, this is something which is going to be their world. That's their oyster.
Yeah.
For me, it's the only thing that I can do is introduce them to. And that's what I did with my kids. So there's a project that I do with my kids every month. I give them a topic, not necessarily tech topic, but any topic in life. It could be political, geopolitical, geographical, and emerging tech, human sciences. I just give them any topic and they present to me and my wife. And then we reward them. We give them score. And then on base of that presentation, they can read out through a paper. They can give a complete presentation. It can be extempore. They can seek anybody's help. So there's no restriction. But they have to present it in front of us, all of us. So they do that. And my kid, the one that you saw and he presented in front of everyone, I never guided him like deep into about AI or any of the technology. In 2022 or 23, I just gave them a project like, hey, there's a thing called AI. You got to go research and give us, next week, it's going to be a presentation on that. So from that point onward, he got obsessed with it. And then he ventured into it himself. So all the tools that he's using, that he's shared with everyone, it was all his research.
Cool.
So he went online and he did all of that. And he's playing with it. I've never forced them to do anything. So as a parent, it's very important that we introduce them and let them be, supervise how they approach things.
Yes.
Of course, they're going to be questioned. Our job is to answer those questions. And the biggest thing that we can do right now is with all of that's the easy part. The hard part is the mindset. I think we all need to work on the mindset of our kids right now because I think that is more important than anything else. As parents, as elders, as siblings, if you're an older sibling and you have younger ones, it's our job because this technology is so powerful in both meanings, good and bad, and it's so easy to get lost with the kind of power that you feel while using this and without knowing if you're not like conscious enough and aware, self-aware enough and aware of the consequences, it can take you really far on the dark side.
Yeah.
So for me, I nowadays they have access to internet, they have access to everything. But there are certain rules that and protocols in my house that they cannot access it in their rooms.
Okay.
So they're not allowed to use mobile phones or laptops in rooms. It happens in the living area, in the lounge area. It's my rule because it has to be supervised.
Yeah.
So that's what I believe. But then the most time that I spend with my kids is on now their mindset. That's the reality of it. I show them how important it is that life's not going to be easy with all the tools that they're getting.
Yes.
They're still going to need a lot of hard work, perseverance, and the most important thing, discipline. So I try and inculcate those values. I try and inculcate how they're going to be still going to be challenges. I work on those then like in technology because as you discussed earlier, they're going to get better than I am in technology and how to use the technology.
I love that I had the opportunity to touch a little bit more about that and parenting because I think it's such an important topic right now. So thank you for sharing that. My next segue is going to be a little bit fun for you because you're already creating a lot and you've been in the space for a while. But if you could wave a magic wand and create something, maybe you've seen the capabilities out there more than most. If you could create anything right now, what would you put out there using AI?
Wow, that is such a good question. That is such a good question. I think the most common answer is going to be portals.
Portals?
Yeah, portals. I think time traveling or moving from one point to the other by just stepping into a vortex or a portal.
Okay.
I think just like in Star Trek or all of that. So we used to watch as growing up. So that was very
Yes.
fascinating. I think that is something that like,
Can
that
happen.
can definitely happen. The way
Yeah.
science is now they have been able to move, I think, a quantum atom, and they have been able to like move it from one space to the other. And the experiments are going on.
Yeah, I think with this technology and this empowerment, I see advancements in the medical field. And so if I had to wave a magic wand, I like to answer differently for every guest. I think just lately being in Bali and surrounded by so much pollution, I know that there are already solutions out there to turning plastic into oil and things of that nature. I think that now that we have the technology and the tools to use AI for good, and how do we solve real world problems like trash and pollution and infrastructure? It's just so prevalent in my mind while here in Bali. But I think we're at time, and I just want to thank you so much for sharing more about your background, how you came into AI, and the most important thing that really hit me today was just the mindset shift that we all need to take and with ourselves and our teams and with the future generations. So I just really appreciate your time today. And I want to just open the floor for any closing remarks and how can listeners get in contact with you? What's the best way to reach you?
Through social media. You can connect either LinkedIn, Instagram as well, not on Snapchat or anything. So my name is Umer, Umer Hadeed, Hadeed. So you can search Umer.Hadeed on any of these platforms. Like, you can send a DM, you can reach out to me. And then if you have any query, if I can be of any help, I would love to. Yeah, so that's my calling too. So yeah, I would love to connect with you all. Thank you for having me, Brooke. And my last leaving note would be like, it's important to when we are making a decision is to be okay with the worst case scenario. And if you are okay with the worst case scenario, then go for it.
Yeah.
And right now the important thing is, and I've seen this example in front of me, and I would share it with everyone, it's time to take action. We are living in times where if we know everything, it doesn't matter unless and until you're taking actions.
Yes.
So for you, for me, for everybody else who's listening and around us, it's important that you start applying what you know. Because if you're not going to apply, you're not going to know where it needs fixing, how better you need it, and how badly you need it, and what are the changes that you need to make to improve. So that's as important right now.
Very beautiful last point indeed. So thank you so much, Umer. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me, Brooke. It was lovely chatting with you.
Wow. I hope today's episode opened your mind to what's possible with AI. Do you have a cool use case on how you're using AI and want to share it? DM me. I'd love to hear more and feature you on my next podcast. Until next time, here's to working smarter, not harder. See you on the next episode of How I AI. This episode was made possible in partnership with the Collective AI, a community designed to help entrepreneurs, creators, and professionals seamlessly integrate AI into their workflows. One of the biggest game changers in my own AI journey was joining this space. It's where I learned, connected, and truly enhanced my understanding of what's possible with AI. And the best part, they offer multiple membership levels to meet you where you are. Whether you want to DIY your AI learning or work with a personalized AI consultant for your business, the Collective has you covered. Learn more and sign up using my exclusive link in the show notes.